detail. Halt. Left face. Right
Please
shoulder
rise.
arm.
Please rise. Detail, attention. Precept, arms. Mr. Wilkie. Please remain standing for invocation.
Let us pray. Almighty God, our Heavenly Father, we ask that your blessing be bestowed on our friends and loved ones. We thank you for this opportunity to share with them this special occasion to honor our veterans on this Memorial Day. Let us always honor the memory of those brave soldiers who gave the supreme sacrifice so we may experience freedom in a country that is free. Heavenly Father, keep their families in your kind care. Bless them and comfort them in their time of sorrow. Let us be reminded of life, liberty, justice, freedom, and democracy, that we may be ever grateful to you for those comrades who gave so much. We ask your blessing upon this service, and always grant unto us your continued fellowship. Make some mighty peace. We ask that this in the name of your Son.
Praise the Lord. For grace and prayer.
Please be seated. Welcome to the 2015 New Salem Memorial Day ceremony. We are the Retired Veterans Memorial Club of Vanderburgh County. We do the military rights and most funerals of veterans that you see. Last year we did 234 funerals. This year we've done 86 so far. It is our honor and our privilege to be with you to share with our departed comrades, family members, and friends. At this time, Jerry Brenner will recite the Gettysburg Address. Okay, we will not have the Gettysburg Address. So, it is my honor to introduce to you our guest speaker, which is a true veteran and a friend to all veterans and a true patriot, Captain Dr. Mark Browning.
Morning, afternoon. It is our soldier, not the reporter, who gave us the freedom of the press. It is the soldier, not the poet, who gave us freedom of speech. It is the soldier, not the campus organizer, who has given us the right to demonstrate. It is the soldier, not the lawyer, who has given us the right to a fair trial. It is the soldier, not the pastor, who has given us the right to worship. It is the soldier, not the politician, who has given us the right to vote. is the soldier who salutes the flag, serves under the flag, and whose coffin is draped by the flag, who gives the protester the right to burn the flag. It is the soldier who gave us our freedom. The least we can do for the soldier is appreciate their service for our fabulous country. This poem was written by Charles Province, the founder of the George Patton Historical Society in 1970. It's a tribute to servicemen and women around the world. My fellow Americans, Memorial Day is a day of ceremonies and speeches. Throughout America, today and tomorrow, we honor the dead of our wars. We recall their valor and their sacrifices. Remember, they gave their lives so that we might live. We pay homage to America's finest men and women who gave their lives in defense of freedom. As President Lincoln stated, they gave the last full measure of devotion in fight for our liberty. This is a beautiful day. I would like to thank many for making this event so special. The Retired Veterans Memorial Club, its Commander Dave Walters behind me, its Chaplain Gene Tabert, Buger Wendell Wilkie, Jerry Brenner, and the entire Guard. This group serves a reverent service for any veteran that has a funeral. In 2014, they had 237 services. This year, they've had a total of 80. They do that free of charge, and it's awful nice for our compatriots. I'd like to thank the New Salem Cemetery Board, Bob Lauscher, and the other people on the board. We lost Charles Lauscher the last 2 years, and he was at this ceremony each year. We'd like to thank the staff of the cemetery board and the staff of the grounds. They're well-groomed, and they keep accurate records of all the deceased. Close to 2,000 graves here, and the number of veterans is over 120, and you see the flags on the veterans' graves. Finally, I'd like to thank the attendees of the event, the Boy Scouts, for helping. Your presence is part of the human experience that we reverently respect our departed ones and comrades over the last 2.5 centuries. Oliver Wendell Holmes served in the Civil War and was our past Supreme Court Justice. He was one of the most respected speakers during Memorial Day events. He stated, every year, just like today, in the full tide of spring, at the height of the symphony of the flowers, love and life, there comes a pause. Through the silence, we hear a lonely pipe of death. He called Memorial Day our most important holiday. The memories of American heroes laid to rest at New Salem Cemetery and American cemeteries around the world are kept alive by people like you. Families, communities, retired veterans memorial clubs across our great land. This Memorial Day, we honor those families who have left their heroes behind. We honor them in appreciation for the sacrifices they endured. We also honor the perseverance, the resilience of our military families, for they are dealing with all the challenges of life. America thanks you. How did Memorial Day start? On Sunday, in October of 1864, 3 women saw each other placing flowers on their loved ones' graves. As they shared their grief, they decided to share their flowers as well. They gathered more asters, vines, mountain laurel, and laid wreath on the grave of every soldier buried there. They agreed to meet again July 4th, 1865, and decorate the graves of all who had given their lives for their country. Year after year, they continued this remembrance. More people took part in it. By 1867, they shifted the decoration date to May because flowers were more plentiful. Meanwhile, people in towns throughout the country also honored their war dead in much the same way. I spoke to a friend, she's 85 years old, yesterday, and I asked her what she's been doing for Memorial Day. She indicated she placed over 1,000 silk flowers that she hand-sewn over the last 5 months. She and her sister placed these flowers on graves of 8 different cemeteries over the last 6 days. She placed them on graves of her relatives and others that did not have families that could do the same. This is over 150 years after the ritual was started. In 1868, in Carbondale, Illinois, as you see on the last page of your program, if you have a program, General Logan, the commander of the Grand Army of the Republic, named May 30th as the National Day for the purpose of strewing flowers or otherwise decorating the graves of comrades who died in defense of their country. The name changed from Decoration Day to Memorial Day in 1882. Our Evansville newspaper reported on Memorial Day ceremony 117 years ago in 1898. The ritual at that time was at Oak Hill Cemetery after they had a downtown parade. This had an attendance of 15,000 people. It's similar to what we're seeing today. It's heartwarming to see a cherished tradition maintained for loved ones in our country. Look around today and see the attendance a little less. In 1898, it was a very personal day for many at that time. They still had vivid memories of the Civil War of the 1860s. Many of the attendees were in the Grand Army of the Republic. Those were veterans of that time, and their families were present. These individuals had experienced the Civil War. Our country lost 3% of their people in the Civil War. This was 600,000 people. That's equivalent to all our other wars. It decimated our society. It was an emotional wound, and that emotional wound is still present today. Russia in World War II lost 13% of their population. How could they deal with it? How have they dealt with it? It's not easy to imagine. Our most recent wars have not shown as high a mortality rate as in the Civil War, but the personal effect on families cannot be quantified. After the Civil War, our next large war was World War I, and over 100,000 American troops lost their lives in Europe. Many were lost in Flanders Field. In Flanders Field is one of the most frequently recited poems at Memorial Day services. It's recited in the United Kingdom, Canada, and the United States. It was written by a Canadian colonel and physician named McRae. On May 3rd, 1915, he witnessed the death of his friend, who was only 22 years of age at that time. The scene you have to picture, it was a battlefield in northern Belgium and France, and among a multitude of crosses in perfect order, they were white crosses. They marked each fallen soldier in the fields. As far as the eye could see, there were red poppies. These red poppies have become the symbol of our American Legion since 1921. The symbolism came from the poppies and white crosses that marked the graves of our brave soldiers. This is the 100th year anniversary of this poem. The poem in Flanders Field. In Flanders Field, the poppies blow. Between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the larks still bravely fly, scarcely heard among the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, saw the sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Field. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders Field. The deceased in Flanders Field ask us to carry the torch for the future of our country so they can sleep. In World War II, America lost 420,000 troops, 0.3% of the population. That same percentage occurred in Vanderburgh County. My Uncle Marvin Jerome DeWitt was only 25 years old when he was killed in the Battle of the Bulge on December 17, 1944. He performed many acts of heroism and was awarded the Silver Cross for saving his platoon. He had had only 5 days of combat at that time. My mother reminisces about her brother. This is over 71 years ago. It took my grandmother 4 years to recover from this shock. When her first grandchild arrived, my sister Charlene, she began to become herself again, and her depression subsided. Everyone here has experienced something similar with a family member or friend. The empty chair at the breakfast table. The smaller gathering place at holiday time. The voice of a loved one, heard only as a distant memory in one's mind, are constant reminders that they are gone. These are personal experiences. These experiences are solid in my mind because of the stories by my mother and father. I encourage all of the attendees here and participants to do the same for the next generation. We have the next generation over here. It will give them a greater appreciation of the cost of human life that cannot be quantified for our freedom. Our more recent wars with Korea, Vietnam, Gulf War, Iraq, and Afghanistan strike chords of all our memory banks. We can pass words of wisdom and be examples of respect to our next generation. The next poem reminds us to cherish the moment with our loved ones. This is by Charles Town, and it's a moving tribute to friendship and to a vivid warning not to forget your old friends and comrades. Around the corner I have a friend in this great city that has no end. Yet days go by and weeks rush on, and before I know it, a year is gone. I never see my old friend's face, for life is a swift and terrible race. He knows I like him just as well as in the days when I rang his bell and he rang mine. We were younger then, and now we're busy, tired folks. Tired of playing a foolish game. Tired of trying to make a game. Tomorrow, I will call on Jim just to show I'm thinking of him. But tomorrow comes and tomorrow goes, and the distance between us grows and grows. Around the corner, yet miles away. Here's a telegram, sir. Jim died today. That's what we get and deserve in the end. Around the corner, a vanished friend. These men and women you will hear during the roll call today are our heroes of today and yesterday. Their spirits tell us to preserve our liberty and heritage of the freedom that they so dearly fought for. Words can say so little when they gave so much. Henry Ward Beecher, a novelist, said these patriots hover as a cloud of witnesses above our nation. Joseph Campbell, famous author, notes these facts of heroism were performed by soldiers who gave their lives for something bigger than themselves. They gave the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. More than 1.2 million Americans, men and women, have perished as a result of military conflicts. Because of them, we are able to live in a free society that even our most desperate enemies admire. Who knows what these men and women could have attained? We will never know what was lost, but without a doubt, many were destined to have a major impact on our lives and society. Their skills, their knowledge, ideas, and very uniqueness of their individuality are lost forever. Adlai Stevenson described America so well. America is much more than a geographical fact. It is a political and moral fact. America is the first community in which men set out in principle to institutionalize freedom, responsible government, and human equality. Edmund Bowles, a historian, stated what you're doing today, what all of us are doing today, is remembering and imagining about our loved ones. This remembering and imagining needs to be one piece. not two pieces, one piece. We must learn to live with multiple temporalities. These multiple temporalities, as we think of our loved one, we think of the history and their heritage. We think of linear time, which is now, also cyclical time, which brings them back to us, brings them memories back. And the third is rationalism and ritual. Rationalism, ritual. We're performing rituals today. We're doing it all across the country. And it's such a valuable time for all of us. I will end with a famous poem by Clarence Shoemaker. He wrote the poem, I Am America. I am America. My birthday is a Declaration of Independence. I was born on July 4, 1776. I am a fabulous country of many things and many people. I am the United States of America. I am over 321 million living souls and the ghosts of many who have courageously lived and died for me. I am William Penn, Paul Revere. I stood on a Lexington Green. I fired a shot heard around the world. I am Washington, Jefferson, Hale, and Patrick Henry. Bunker Hill, Valley Forge, Yorktown are part of my heritage. I am John Paul Jones, Daniel Boone, Sergeant York, the Green Mountain Boys, and Davy Crockett. I'm Generals Lee, Grant, and MacArthur. I am Abraham Lincoln and the Gettysburg Address. I remember the Alamo, the Lusitania, and Pearl Harbor, and Iwo Jima. Whenever freedom called, I answered that call. I have left my heroic dead in the Argonne Forest, Flanders Field, on the Rock of Corregidor, on Omaha Beach, at the Battle of the Bulge, on the cold, bleak slopes of Korea, at the Chosin Reservoir, in the leech-infested paddies at the Mekong Delta over the land of Vietnam. And more recently, I have left my heroic dead at the Desert Storm, Iraq, and Afghanistan. Yes, I am the United States of America. These are the things I am. I am conceived in freedom, and God willing, in freedom, I will spend the rest of my days. May I possess the integrity, moral courage, and strength to keep myself unshackled, to remain a stronghold of freedom and a beacon of hope to all the oppressed throughout the world. This is my prayer, my goal, my wish. May God be with me, the United States of America, always, always, always. So help me God.
Thank you, Dr. Brown. In a second here, Mr. Wilkie's going to play a medley of the branches of service in the military. When you hear your branch of service, I'd like for you to rise. You guys, bow to them part of the service. He's going to start out with Coast Guard, Army, Air Force, Marine, and Navy. Mr. Wilkie.
As we leave this memorial service, we are thankful for all the brave comrades that have come here to honor. We are grateful that we can be thankful for their service and pay tribute to their honored and valued service. Grant that we may be ever mindful of their service to God and to country. May we recall their accomplishments and promise to keep the peace for which they bought and paid for with their blood. This supreme sacrifice constitutes a daily inspiration for those like ourselves who remain. Give courage and comfort to those having suffered the loss of a loved one. Watch over the graves of our comrades. Grant eternal rest and peace to their souls, and keep them to the hour of final reveille on that day when they are called before the divine commander. May all these men be present and accounted for. May their souls, from the souls of all departed veterans, rest in peace.
Orders, arms, parade, rest.
This concludes our program.
Shoulder 10, up, forward arm. Right face, right shoulder arm, forward march.